Hey guys, what's good? Okay, let me take off my reading glasses. Hi, how are you guys doing? Okay, so today's vlog, I wanted to talk about the, I guess, the cons of being a new artist, especially the struggle of being a new artist, especially in this time that we're in, that we can't go anywhere, we can't really do that much, we have a lack of resources and stuff like that. But I'm just talking about how it is for me. Recently I've been I was talking to one of my friends, I'm not gonna put her name out there. She's also a new artist, a new soca artist, and we were just having a conversation about what we're both going through at this moment. So let's start off with just being a soca artist in general. All artists right now, artists in general around the world, they're going through the not being able to perform, which is also their income and travel and just work. They're not able to work right now. Everyone is kind of home, stagnant, trying to figure out what their next step is. But the difference between an established artist and a new artist is that their content is still out there, it's still being heard by the people, which is one of the first step that new artists like myself, we fight up with, just even getting our content to the people. You know what I mean? Because in order for you to get bookings and shows and performances, the people have to love your music. And in Trinidad and Tobago, in soca, in the soca industry, you kind of the way how it's known here a lot of times are by the DJs playing it, or it's on someone's playlist or something like that, right? Which is the first step for and one of the first step as an artist. Well, I know, for me, when I drop a song, the first thing I do is try to send it out to the DJs and go on the radio, do interviews so people could get to know about the song, and praying that maybe the DJs play it for the people to be able to hear it, but at this moment, we can't, there's no way to even go in for really interviews or even get to the studio. At least for me, I don't have a studio in my house. I don't have a studio in my house, so it's kind of difficult. And I'm also in the place of I was in that place probably a week and a half ago. What do I do? What do I do next? Because I'm a planner. I like to be able to plan stuff. Before everything happened, I actually had a few shows outside, which I was super excited about, and it will make me make a little bit of funds to be able to invest it back in the music for next season. But now everything got canceled. And at first when this happened, for me, I was freaking out a little bit, because I was I had a plan, and now all my plan is going to shit, and I don't know what's next. But then probably a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, my best friend that lives in New York, she ended up in the hospital, and she couldn't breathe, and on her own, and it was so scary. And her mom called me, and I was on the phone with her mom every day, and I started fasting and praying, because I am very religious. Everything I turn to God about, and I just started fasting and praying. And then it also put me in the mode of thinking about what is life, I've been doing music as an artist, as a soca artist, for 4 years, and I will always say this to people, like becoming a soca artist, as like trying to pursue a career as a soca artist, is probably the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And I'm sure any artist would say that around the world, you know, not just soca. To become an artist is a very hard thing, because it's like having a dream that people can't see and you alone can see, and you're chasing this with no income coming in. Not saying it's about the music, but remember, like I have bills, you know, I have a light bill, I have a water bill, I have to eat, you know, I have to live, and no monetary income, but you love this thing so much you can't give it up, you can't let it go, so you are trying to pursue it, you know. And it's like when that whole thing with my best friend happened, it kind of like put me in the mode of, yo, is this all worth it, you know? All this fighting up and stuff, when there's life out there, like, you know, there's people losing their life out there, there's so much, you know, to life, you know. It kind of set me in the overthinking everything mode, you know. And then I calmed down, probably like the Monday she called me and was like, I am breathing on my own, I'm doing better, you know. And we just started crying on the phone together. And after that, I probably like a day after, I actually started listening to music. Like I just was listening to music, and my music, and just music in general, and I was like singing along and just vibing to music and seeing. But when I was listening to music, right, I was listening to it and seeing like, yo, what do I really like what gravitates me? Because for a long time, I have not just sat down and listened to like a bunch of other artists' music, and even my music, and just listen to what I love and what makes me get goosebumps, or what make me like really, really smile. And then I had a moment that I was just like, yo, I really like this genre, and I really like singing a different genre, you know, other than soca. I really love singing this genre, and I want to play around with music, you know, just play around with sounds, and what I can create without any pressure, you know. Although I don't know if you guys know who Kit is. He's a producer and a songwriter. Before this whole thing happened, right before that, I started working with Kit, and we were trying to find my sound, but we were also trying to work on projects for after Carnival, you know. And one of the projects that we worked on, we didn't plan it. We ended up just going into the studio. We went into work on an instrumental that was sent, and then we ended up building something from scratch, which wasn't planned. And some of the parts of the song, I was just in the booth playing around, and Kit recorded me while I was playing around, which we ended up using. And I thought like, yo, that was dope, but I didn't really give it too much thought until then now, like when the other day Kid called me and was like, yo, Melly, I was listening to this song, and this song is so hard. And I was like, yo, I was listening to it the other day while I was going through music, and I was like, yo, this is such a beautiful song. So I'm saying all this to say, this time I actually been like using it to talk to my friends more. Like I've been FaceTiming with my friends a lot. I've been finding my sound by myself, just working on things I like, you know, without any pressure. And I have also realized, like, being a new artist, how hard it can be to lose yourself in trying to find the next step, and figuring out how you can get your music to the people. And this can also be that time that you don't know what to do, because at this point as a new artist, your music aren't not playing on the radio, you know, the people still don't know you, you're still not booking any gigs, and you maybe felt like after Carnival it would be your opportunity to actually say something, because a lot of the bigger artists who music being played on the radio and getting the recognition and getting the shows, they don't really drop music during this time, which gives the opportunity for newer artists to release music and get a little bit of play or music radio time or something like that, you know. But you know, one of the things that I'm learning in this time is that like for me, this has been a time of just reflecting, and also it's okay to not be doing music in this time. If you're like, if this time you seeing your family around you and this is your time, you haven't bonded with them in a while or spent time with them in a long time, you guys all haven't been in the same space long enough, and you want to take advantage of that and hang out with your family and play TikTok, or like me, like in this time I have been talking to my friends, like my group of girlfriends. I have a group of girlfriends that we're on WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group. A lot of times they are talking a bunch of stuff, and I'm not even, sometimes one of them have to call me to catch me up on what's going on, because I am not focused on that. I'm you know, running around trying to get stuff done, and now I've been like FaceTiming with them. I've been talking to them on a daily, and usually when I'm even talking to them, a lot of times I've realized that I'm talking about like my goals and what next and what I want to work on. And now when we're talking, we're just talking about stuff, you know what I mean? We're just talking and laughing and just reminiscing, because we've been friends. I have a group of friends that I've been friends with since I was young, and those are the girls that's in the group, and we just talk about stuff, you know. And I've also, like, I like to cook. I'm a home cook me, but like I realized my love for it even more. I'm cooking like every day, you know. Or like as I said before, I've been working on my sound, just like listening to music and seeing what I like, and maybe going on YouTube and listen to some instrumentals I have on my phone, and just freestyling or playing around with it for fun, you know. But in this time, I know, like, I can't tell you like what will happen after this quarantine time, you know, but I just wanted to tell you guys like we're not alone. You're not alone. I know I'm not alone. If there's anybody like that have advice on some music fun stuff I can do, or non-music stuff, you know, you can leave it in the comment. If you guys ever want, if there's new artists that even want to talk about stuff, you can DM me on IG at IM_Melly Rose. But the thing about it, I don't want you guys to feel defeated, you know, because I always say, since I was small, right, I have always, like, I've been through a lot in my life, like from putting myself through college to like I've been on my own since I was like 17, just finding my way in the world, you know. I've been through a lot, and one of the things I've always, you know, and I take this with like my friends around me, like my tight group of friends, I always don't want them to feel pain, or what if I know I've been through something, I don't want someone to go through it. I'm never the type to be like, oh, because I go through this, I want this person to feel how it is. No, I don't want you to feel what I felt if in any time of my pain, and when the whole thing, when we end up having to like be in the house and not be outside and not go out and stuff like that, I started panicking and I was freaking out. I was like, I don't want you guys to freak out. I don't want you guys to stress about what's next. I want you guys to know that like this too shall pass and we will get over it, and use this time to do whatever you want. Like if you want to cook all day, if you feel like you want to work on your brand, sure, do that. You know what I mean? If you feel like you want to listen to some music, do that. If you feel like you want to hang out with your family, do that. Don't feel guilty. Don't beat yourself up. Do not stress, because everything will work out. You know what I mean? When this is done, you can, maybe in that time you would be, if you were stressing out before, you'll be calm and have a clear thought process, and then you can make your next step. Or if you want, you can figure out your next step on this time. If you want, you just don't feel like you are being pressured to do anything. If you see people working on stuff or music or whatever, don't look. I have this policy in my life. I don't look left, I don't look right, I look forward. I look at my lane and what I need to do to better myself and be a greater human being and be a better person, or be better at accomplishing my goal. You know what I mean? One of the things, like during this time, when me and my best friend, we were talking, when I lived in the States, I had a nonprofit called Feed One Life at a Time, which like for Thanksgiving and Christmas, we will give food to the homeless. We'll go into the shelters and we will give food, or we will go down to the, like it had like by the courtroom, it had a place that we would go and we would give out food to some of the people that's not going into the shelter and they're just there, right? Outside, yeah. So one of the things, like I was like, since I moved back home, like I wanted to build back a nonprofit here. My family here, my aunt actually started it. Well, my grandmother did it before she passed away, but my aunt continued it. Like everyone in the family, for Christmas, we bring something. If it's not toilet paper, like whatever it is, we bring it all together and we make like hampers to give out to families up in Maracas. And I was just here thinking like I really want to get back into that, because I am like, I love charity. I love giving to people, because I believe if you have $1 and you can share with someone to help their life be better, you do that, because God bless you to bless others. That's how I look at stuff. So now I'm just like, maybe I can start like working on figuring out how I can start my nonprofit here. And this was something like I was discussing a few days ago with my best friend, because we talk about like everything. And she was like, yeah, that's super dope, because we were actually having a conversation, just joking about stuff that has happened while we were doing it. And I was like, I really want to do something here while living in Trinidad, and that's something that I am now looking into and I'm going to start working on, bringing that here. But I'm just saying all this to say, this time I don't want you guys to stress. I don't want you guys to worry about what next, and I don't know if there's other people, because for me, early last year, I got sick. And then after that, I felt like, after I got better, I was like, if today or tomorrow I pass away, what's going to be my legacy, and I felt after that, like I needed to get stuff done, and I was feeling like super tense and frustrated, and I was like, I need stuff to start happening. And then this happened, and then I was just like, what, look at God, like I just need to take my time and everything will work out. I'm not going to stress because I have life. You know, I have life, I have family, I have people around me that love me, I have people around that I love. And once you have life and like you can breathe, like those things are what matters and what's important. You know what I mean? Not saying not to work towards your goal and try to get things done. No, I'm not saying that. I just don't want you to stress about it because you have life. You know, just take this time to calm, find a sense of calm in you. And like for me, I am using this time just to do things that make me happy. You know, no stress, no nothing. I'm just doing stuff that makes me happy. You know, like I'm obsessed right now with Blacklist. I've been watching that. So I've been like, right now I'm binge watching it either on my laptop or on the TV. Either way, I'm binge watching it and it makes me happy. You know, I'm cooking. Today I made some curry chicken and potato and chana, and my neighbor actually made me some roti skin, and I'm finding my way back to my happiness. And I'm sharing this with you guys because I don't want you guys to stress, and I just wanted you guys to know that you're not alone and we will get through this. And don't give up. Do not give up. If you take anything away from what I'm saying right now, do not give up. Do not. Because like, despite it might be hard and you're looking at it from the angle of not getting your music played, or not getting any bookings or performances, or the people not knowing you, or whatever you're going through, because each person journey is different. There's nobody journey is the same. Each person's journey is different. Whatever you're going through, like whatever you were going through with music and stuff like that, it will work itself out. Keep pushing, keep doing your music. Do not stress. If you can't get to the studio right now, when this is over, which this too shall pass, go into the studio, release your music, do your interviews, you know what I mean, get things done. But just do not stress. It will pass, and we will get through this, and we will keep pushing until one day you're going to be that superstar or that big artist and getting those gigs, the performances, your music will be played on radio, the people will actually know your stuff, all this stuff, anything you dream of will happen. Just do not give up and do not stress. Okay? So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped someone. You know, I'm just sharing from my perspective of things right now, what I am going through, or what I'm going through, because we are in this, and I don't know if this will help anyone. I hope it does. But if you guys want, like, leave some comments below. Let me know if you guys are going through anything, if there's anything I can help with. Positive vibes, let's talk, because I know we're all quarantined, we're all locked up in this thing, in the house, you know. And just be safe, guys, you know, be safe. Show love to your fellow man, and this too shall pass. Okay, guys? Okay, bye. Ooh, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.